In 1922, a team of British archaeologists pried open a sealed chamber inside a 3,000-year-old Egyptian tomb. Inside, they found gold. They found jewelry. They found an entire civilization's worth of stuff meant to keep a dead pharaoh comfortable in the afterlife. And sitting right next to all of it, in a plain stone jar, they found honey. Golden, thick, perfectly preserved honey. They tasted it. Still good. 3,000 years old, and it hadn't gone bad. Not even a little. Now think about that for a second. A food item that outlasted the Roman Empire, the Dark Ages, the Black Plague, both world wars, and the entire run of whatever reality show is ruining society this week. A food that cost a few copper coins in ancient Egypt, and it's sitting on a shelf at Costco right now for 13 bucks. That jar is the proof. The proof that long-term food storage doesn't have to be complicated, doesn't have to be expensive, and definitely doesn't have to come in a $400 bucket with a picture of a smiling family on the front. Today I'm going to show you 7 foods that can do almost the same thing as that jar of tomb honey. Most of them cost under $2 a pound. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a complete 30-day emergency meal plan, over 2,000 calories a day, for about $100 total. But first, we need to talk about a lie. A very profitable lie. The big lie. Here's the survival maxim for today, and I want you to burn this into your brain. The most expensive survival food is the one someone else packaged for you. That's not a catchy slogan, that's math. Walk into any outdoor retailer right now. Go to the emergency food section. You'll see shelf-stable kits in big plastic buckets with bold labels, 30-day supply, just add water, 25-year shelf life, and a price tag somewhere between $400 and $550 for one person, for 1 month. Crack one of those buckets open. You know what's inside? Rice, beans, powdered milk, oats, the exact same bulk staples your grandmother bought at the general store for pennies. They've been repackaged into foil pouches mixed with enough sodium to mummify a horse, flavored with something that technically qualifies as chicken, and marked up by about 400%. Here's what they hope you never do. They hope you never pull out a calculator, walk into a Walmart and a Costco, buy the same raw ingredients, seal them in mylar bags yourself, and realize you just built the same thing for about $73 in food. Add 35 bucks in storage supplies, and you're still at 108 bucks total, with leftovers. That's not a savings hack. That's a rescue mission for your wallet. But there's a catch. You can't just throw any food into a bag and expect it to last a quarter century. Most foods won't. Most foods are quietly rotting from the moment they leave the factory. You need to know exactly which 7 foods actually survive 25+ years, why the science works, and which ones are lying to you on the label. The survival food industry is counting on you not knowing the difference. They're about to be very disappointed. Food number 1, the foundation stone, white rice. White rice, long grain. And I need you to hear the word white very clearly, because this is where people mess up and it costs them everything. Brown rice has a health food halo. More fiber, more nutrients on paper, a nice earthy marketing story. It also has oils in the bran layer that start going rancid within 6 to 12 months. You seal brown rice in a mylar bag, open it in 3 years, and it smells like a wet basement that gave up on life. The nutrients don't matter if the food makes you sick. White rice? The milling process strips off that bran layer, strips off the germ. What you're left with is basically pure starch, a simple, stable, calorie-dense brick of energy with almost nothing for bacteria or oxidation to grab onto. Researchers at Brigham Young University, and if you're into food storage, BYU is basically the MIT of this field. They sealed white rice in oxygen-free containers and cracked them open 30 years later. Still nutritionally sound, still safe to eat. The flavor had barely changed, 30 years. Now let's talk money. At Costco, a 50-pound bag of long-grain white rice, Eastside brand, grown in Arkansas, runs about 23 bucks. Some warehouses carry Kokosai or Emerald brands that go up to 26, 27. Depends on your location. Let's use 23 as our baseline, 50 pounds. That's roughly 82,500 calories in a single bag. At 2,000 calories a day, that one bag feeds one person for 41 days, for $23. 41 days of base calories for the price of a mediocre pizza delivery. No Costco membership? Walmart carries great value white rice in 20-pound bags. Per pound price is a bit higher, but it gets the job done. This isn't about brand loyalty. It's about calories per dollar, and white rice wins that fight against almost everything on the planet. Storage, mylar bag, 300cc oxygen absorber, 5-gallon bucket. I'll walk you through the process later in this video, step by step. Here's a number most people never calculate. At Costco pricing, white rice costs roughly 45 cents per pound. Each pound contains about 1650 in calories. That means your cost per 1,000 calories is approximately 27 cents. 27 cents? You can't buy a gumball for 27 cents, but you can fuel a human body for half a day. No other food in a grocery store, not pasta, not flour, not potatoes, touches that ratio at scale. For now, just know that properly stored white rice is the single most reliable foundation of any long-term food supply on Earth. Half the world already runs on it, has for 10,000 years, and in a grid-down supply chain collapse scenario, it'll run yours too. But rice alone has a fatal flaw, and if you don't fix it, you're going to find out the hard way. Food number 2, the missing half, pinto beans, dried pinto beans. Here's the problem with rice, it's almost pure carbohydrate. Energy, yes, but protein, almost none. Fiber, barely a trace. You can eat rice 3 meals a day and still watch your muscles waste away, your immune system collapse, and your digestive system grind to a halt. You'll have energy technically, but your body won't be able to do anything useful with it. Like filling a car with gas but removing the engine. Beans fix that. Rice and beans together form what nutritional science calls a complete protein. All 9 essential amino acids that your body cannot manufacture on its own. That's not a prepper myth. That's not folk wisdom from your survivalist uncle. That's biochemistry, confirmed in peer-reviewed research, relied upon by billions of people across Latin America, Asia, and Africa as their primary protein source. Every day, right now. The most battle-tested dietary combination in human history. BYU tested dried pinto beans in oxygen-free storage. Taste and texture declined after about 20 years. They get harder, take longer to cook. But nutritional content held strong past 25. In a survival scenario, harder to chew is a problem you'll be thrilled to have. Walmart, great value dried pinto beans, 8-pound bag, $6.88, about 86 cents a pound. That bag contains roughly 12,400 calories and almost 800 grams of protein for less than $7. For context, a single serving of freeze-dried bean and rice bowl from a survival brand costs $5 to $6. One serving. You just bought 2 weeks worth of the same ingredients for the same price. Want better? Walmart's 20-pound bag runs about $15, drops to roughly 75 cents a pound. That's the bulk move. Storage identical to rice. Mylar, absorber, bucket. These two, rice and beans, are the backbone of your entire 30-day plan. Everything else is support. But there's a meal your brain is going to sabotage you on. The one most people forget to plan for entirely. Food number 3, the forgotten meal, rolled oats. Rolled oats. Specifically, old-fashioned rolled oats, not instant. Here's what happens in every amateur food storage plan. They buy rice, they buy beans, they feel accomplished, and then day 1 of an actual emergency hits and they realize they planned lunch and dinner but completely forgot breakfast exists. Staring at a pot of plain white rice at 6 in the morning, wondering why they didn't think this through. Oats solve that problem for $1 a pound. I said old-fashioned rolled oats, and not instant for a specific reason. Instant oats are pre-cooked, rolled thinner, and often have added sugars and flavorings that reduce shelf life dramatically. Those little maple and brown sugar packets? 2 years, tops, plain rolled oats, sealed correctly in oxygen-free storage? BYU documented good condition after 28 years, almost 3 decades. Calorie density is excellent, 1,700 calories per pound, plus soluble fiber, the kind that keeps your digestive system actually functioning when stress, dehydration, and bad water are all trying to shut it down simultaneously. Trust me when I say you do not want to discover what happens when your gut stops working in a survival scenario. Fiber is not glamorous, fiber is essential. Walmart. Great value old-fashioned oats, 42-ounce canister, $2.66, about $1 a pound. 2 canisters for our build, under $6 for a month of breakfast. Critical step everyone skips, that canister is not storage. That cardboard tube with a plastic lid is fine for your kitchen counter. It is not airtight enough for decades. Buy for the price. Repackage into mylar at home. Seal with absorber. Now your breakfast supply outlasts your mortgage. We're halfway through the list. Everything so far is under $2 a pound. Cheap, effective. Boring as a tax return, but effective. The next item breaks that $2 barrier, but what it does for your body is worth every penny, and if you skip it, you'll pay in ways that don't show up on a receipt. Food number 4, the expensive insurance, powdered milk. Non-fat dry milk powder. Let me be upfront. This is the priciest item per pound on the list by a significant margin. Walmart, Great Value Instant, non-fat dry milk, 25.6-ounce bag, $8.86. The bigger 64-ounce bag, 4 pounds, is about $19.67. Per pound, around $5.50. So why is it here? Because after 2 weeks of nothing but rice, beans, and oats, your body starts screaming for things grains and legumes cannot provide: calcium, vitamin D, vitamin A, specific proteins that support bone density, immune function, and cognitive performance. You can survive without them for a while. But survive and function are two very different words. And in an emergency, you need your brain running at full speed because the decisions you make in the first month determine whether you see month 2. Non-fat dry milk fills those gaps. One serving gives you 30% of your daily calcium, solid vitamin D, and a hit of protein that changes the nutritional math of your entire plan. It turns plain oatmeal into something that actually sustains you. It turns sugar water into a calorie-dense recovery drink. Keyword: non-fat. Full-fat powdered milk contains fats that oxidize, goes rancid within a year. Non-fat, sealed in mylar with both an oxygen absorber and a desiccant pack. Moisture is the enemy here. Documented lasting 20 to 25 years. Good news for the budget. Our 30-day plan only needs about £1.5 pounds total. The smaller bag covers that with some left over. $9 for a month of calcium and vitamin insurance. Budget hack for serious preppers. LDS Home Storage Centers. You don't have to be a member. Open to the public. They sell number 10 cans of powdered milk at near cost, significantly cheaper per pound. Google LDS Home Storage Center near me. Best kept secret in the prepping community. Now, we've covered energy, protein, fiber, vitamins. There's one macronutrient we haven't addressed, and the solution is sitting in your pantry right now, ignored, and it costs less per calorie than anything else on Earth. Food number 5, the infinite fuel, white sugar. White granulated sugar. I can already hear the comments. Sugar isn't nutritious. Sugar is poison. Cool. Your nutritionist has electricity, running water, and a Whole Foods within driving distance. In a long-term emergency, that advice is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. Here's what sugar actually is in a survival context. The cheapest, most calorie-dense, longest-lasting energy source available to a human being. Full stop. The science. Sucrose, table sugar, is a disaccharide that doesn't degrade, doesn't oxidize, has no fat to spoil, no protein to denature. The USDA classifies it as non-perishable with an indefinite shelf life. Not 25 years, not 50, indefinite. It will outlast the container you put it in. Walmart, Great Value, 10-pound bag, $8 even, 80 cents a pound, 1760 calories per pound, over 2,000 calories per dollar. Nothing else in a grocery store comes close. In your meal plan, sugar is a force multiplier. A tablespoon in oatmeal makes it palatable. Dissolved in water with salt, it becomes a crude oral rehydration solution. Same basic principle behind Pedialyte and what the WHO uses in disaster zones worldwide. Mixed with honey and milk powder, it becomes a calorie-dense survival shake requiring zero cooking fuel. Critical storage exception. Do not use oxygen absorbers with sugar. The absorbers cause moisture shifts that turn your nice granulated sugar into an impenetrable brick. You'll need a chisel and a grudge to get it out. Sugar storage, mylar bag, heat seal, done. No absorber, no desiccant. Simplest item on the list. 25-pound bag at Walmart, just under $20. 80 cents a pound for functionally immortal food. No rational argument against having this in storage. The next item has 0 calories and might be the most important thing on this entire list. Food number 6, the dollar that saves your life, iodized salt. Iodized salt, 0 calories, 0 protein, 0 carbs, and more essential to your survival than anything else in this video. Here's what happens without sodium. Blood pressure drops, muscles stop contracting properly, brain starts misfiring, confusion, disorientation, nausea. It's called hyponatremia, low blood sodium, and in severe form, it causes seizures, coma, and death. This kills marathon runners, kills hikers, kills people who drink too much water without replacing electrolytes. In a survival scenario with sweating, water rationing, and constant physical stress, sodium isn't a seasoning, it's medicine. The iodized part matters more than you think. Iodine deficiency causes hypothyroidism. Thyroid swells, metabolism crashes, cognitive function deteriorates. Still the leading preventable cause of intellectual disability worldwide. In a long-term grid-down situation without processed foods or seafood, That potassium iodate in your table salt is doing real, measurable, life-preserving work. Walmart, Morton iodized salt, 26-ounce canister, $1.26. One canister rationed at about a teaspoon per day lasts one person roughly a year. The salt itself lasts indefinitely. The iodine additive loses potency after about 5 years. Rotate for iodine if storing long-term, but the salt is always good. No oxygen absorber needed. Same exception as sugar. Seal in mylar or keep in original container. Salt has been preserving food since before humans figured out writing. $1.26. Cheapest item on the list by a mile. Possibly the one that makes the difference between functioning and failing when everything else goes wrong. 6 down, 1 to go. And this last one takes us right back to where we started. Back to Egypt, back to the tomb, back to the jar that proved food can last forever. Food number 7, the Pharaoh's insurance, honey. Honey. Full circle. The same food that sat undisturbed in an Egyptian burial chamber for 3 millennia and came out perfectly edible. Let's talk about why, because the science is fascinating. 3 factors. First, moisture content. Honey naturally sits below 18%. Most bacteria need at least 25 to survive. They literally cannot reproduce in it. Second, pH around 3.5. Hostile territory for almost all microbial life. Third, this is the wild one. Honey naturally produces small amounts of hydrogen peroxide through an enzyme called glucose oxidase, the same chemical you put on a cut. Honey makes it on its own, continuously. That's why honey doubles as wound treatment. Applied topically, medical-grade honey has been clinically shown to promote healing in burns, lacerations, and surgical wounds. In a survival scenario with injuries and no pharmacy, honey is food and first aid kit. 2 for 1. The Pharaohs knew. Now you know. Costco. Kirkland Wildflower Honey. 5-pound bottle. $12.99 to $14.99 depending on warehouse. About $2.60 to $3 per pound. Per calorie, honey isn't the most efficient at $13.80 per pound. That's not why it's here. Honey is the morale multiplier. Oatmeal with honey is breakfast. Rice porridge with milk and honey is comfort food. Water with honey and salt is an energy drink that actually works. In a crisis, morale isn't luxury. People who give up die faster than people who don't. Honey is the difference between I can do one more day and what's the point? Price hack, local beekeepers. Facebook Marketplace, farmers markets. Buy 5+ pounds direct, cheaper and raw, unfiltered with better antimicrobial properties than processed. Storage, easiest on the list. Leave it in the bottle. No mylar, no absorber, no bucket. Honey takes care of itself. Been doing it for 3,000 years without help. That's all 7. Now you need to know how to make them last and how to eat them. The mylar method. 5 steps to 25 years. This is the part where groceries become a multi-generational survival asset. Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers. Simpler than you think, cheaper than you'd guess. Step 1. Supplies. Mylar bags, 1 gallon, 5 ml thickness minimum. Not 4, not 3.5, 5. Anything thinner risks punctures and seal failures that won't show up for years. You'll be happily assuming your food is safe, and meanwhile a microscopic pinhole is letting oxygen creep in and slowly destroy everything you sealed. On Amazon, a 50-pack with 300cc oxygen absorbers runs $15 to $30 depending on brand and quality. The Wallaby and Shield Pro brands consistently get the best reviews from the long-term storage community. Don't cheap out here. The bags are the barrier between your food and entropy. Spend the extra $5 for 5 ml. 3 5-gallon food-grade buckets with lids, Home Depot, Lowe's, $4 to $5 each. A hair straightener on max heat for sealing. Works better than a clothes iron because the flat plates give you a clean, even press. Permanent marker, and optional but recommended, desiccant packs for powdered milk only. Step 2. Label before you fill. Contents, date, weight on the bag before anything goes in. 12 identical silver bags in a dark closet 3 years from now. You'll either thank me or wish you had. Step 3. Fill to 75%. Leave top quarter for air removal and sealing. 1 gallon bag holds 5 to 7 pounds of rice or beans. Step 4. Absorber in, air out, seal. Absorbers activate on contact with air. Work fast. Have all bags filled first. Open absorber pack, drop 1 per bag, squeeze out air, run hair straightener across the top inch. Firm pressure, slow movement, continuous seal. No gaps or wrinkles. Within 48 hours, the bag should feel vacuum tight like a brick. Still puffy after 2 days? Seal failed. Cut below original line, fresh absorber, reseal higher. Exceptions: sugar and salt, no absorbers. Sugar becomes concrete, salt doesn't need them. Step 5. Bucket and store, sealed bags into buckets. Coolest, darkest, driest spot you've got. Temperature is the silent variable. 90 degrees Fahrenheit gives you about 10 years of shelf life. 70 degrees, 25 years. 60 degrees, 35 plus. Every 10 degrees cooler roughly doubles storage life. Keep your buckets away from water heaters and sunlit garages. The 30-day survival menu. Every day hits 2,100 plus calories. 3 meals and a snack, 7 ingredients. No supplements, no gourmet nonsense. Breakfast: 1 cup rolled oats cooked with water, 3 tablespoons powdered milk, 1 tablespoon honey, pinch of salt, 420 calories, fiber, calcium, protein, and enough flavor to face the morning. Lunch: 1 cup white rice, ½ cup pinto beans, salt, 750 calories, complete protein. Sustained energy for 6 hours. Dinner: same as lunch, another 750. Snack: tablespoon of sugar and tablespoon of honey dissolved in water with a pinch of salt. Crude energy drink, about 120 calories. Extra oats if you need to push higher. 200 to 300 calories total. Now, variety. Swap honey for sugar in the oatmeal every other day. Make rice porridge. Extra water. Cook until creamy. Add milk powder and honey. That's congee, and half the planet eats it for breakfast. Mash the beans one day. Cook them longer into a thick soup another day. Toast dry rice in the pot before adding water for a nuttier flavor. Drizzle honey over rice and beans on Sundays. Sounds wrong, tastes surprisingly right. 30-day totals: about 30.5 pounds of rice, 12 pounds of beans, 5.5 pounds of oats, 1.7 pounds each of milk powder and sugar, under ½ pound of salt, and about 1.5 pounds of honey. Pro tip for peacetime builders: throw a $5 bottle of hot sauce and a jar of bouillon cubes into your bucket. Not on the 25-year list. Rotate every couple years. But they turn survival into actually alright. $5 for a month of morale. Best investment in the build. Is this a Michelin star dining experience? No. Will a food blogger feature this on their Instagram? Not a chance. But here's the thing nobody talks about with emergency food plans. The goal isn't enjoyment. The goal is maintaining cognitive function and physical capability for 30 days while the situation stabilizes. Every calorie, every gram of protein, every milligram of calcium in this plan is doing a specific job. Your body doesn't care if it's bored. Your body cares that it has fuel, building blocks, and electrolytes. This plan delivers all 3 every single day for about $1.60 a day in food cost. Try finding that deal anywhere else. The final receipt, let's add it up. Everything, food and supplies. 1 person, 30 days. Food costs: 50-pound bag of rice from Costco, $23. 2 8-pound bags of pinto beans from Walmart, $13.76. 2 canisters of oats from Walmart, $5.32. Powdered milk from Walmart, $8.86. 10-pound bag of sugar from Walmart, $8 even. Iodized salt from Walmart, $1.26. 5-pound honey from Costco, about $13. Food total, approximately $73. Supplies: mylar bag and oxygen absorber combo from Amazon, about $20. 3 buckets with lids from Home Depot, about $15. Supply total, $35. Grand total, $108. Now the part the survival food industry really doesn't want you to think about. That 50-pound bag of rice? You used 30. 20 pounds of rice sitting right there for the next build. Those 50 mylar bags? You used maybe 12. 38 ready to go. The absorbers, the sugar, the salt, leftovers across the board. With another bag of beans and a couple cans of oats, 15, 20 bucks, you build a second month. The startup is 108. The expansion is a fraction of that. Compare. Brand name 30-day emergency food kit, $400 to $500. Same calories, often less actually. Same shelf life, same ingredients underneath the flavoring and sodium. DIY 108, their bucket, up to 500, 75 to 80% savings, and you know exactly what's in every bag because you put it there. The final punch, 7 foods, 4 stores, 1 trip, 108 bucks, 30 days of nutrition, 25 plus years of shelf life, and enough leftover supplies to keep building. That honey in the Egyptian tomb survived because nobody opened the jar. Your food will survive because you sealed it right, stored it smart, and refused to pay someone else $400 to do a $73 job. You've got the knowledge now. You've got the shopping list, you've got the method. The only thing standing between you and a month of food security is a trip to Walmart, a stop at Costco, and an afternoon with a hair straightener and some silver bags. Or you can keep scrolling, keep meaning to get around to it, and keep hoping nothing bad happens before you're ready. That's a strategy too. Not a good one, but it's available. Just don't take too long deciding. For the full tactical picture, home fortification, death trap locations, bug-out bags that won't fail you, the main channel, Fallout Raccoon, goes deeper. Links in the description and pinned comment. If this helped, subscribe. Free. 1 second. Tells the algorithm to show this to more people who need it. Drop a comment. Which food are you stocking first? I read every single one, and I judge the ones that say instant oats. Stay prepared. Stay sharp. Don't trust any food you can't explain the science behind. I'll see you in the next one.